What's up, YouTube? Well, subscribers, I haven't done a video in about a week or two, so I'm just trying to do this one now. I've been kind of busy with school and work and trying to get things together. So, but this video I have now, this new one, is basically on, well, one of my subs said that, comments all the time saying that I'm not perfect and all that other stuff, and everyone makes mistakes, which I know. Like I said to them, you obviously don't watch my videos and see, because I never claimed to be perfect, and nor have I said that I don't make mistakes. And actually, in all scheme of things, I actually have pointed out a lot of the mistakes I've made and discussed that in somewhat some detail. So what they're talking about, I don't know. Sometimes I think they're off in the left field on that. But in recent weeks, past weeks, you know, I'm okay. So women are emotional creatures. We all are emotional creatures. And men have to understand that. And so a lot of times when you have to understand that with women, you can't escalate a situation. You have to de-escalate a situation with a woman. Okay? So if a woman calls you or talks to you or whatever, and she's discussing a topic with you, okay, so you should always think through what you're going to answer. You don't take a long time, because then she's like, well, dang, why you take so long to answer the question? And I know men need time to think. I don't know why y'all take so long to think, but there's a lot of y'all out there that take a long time to get an answer. So my thing is this: think through the question and then answer appropriately. Okay, so think about your answer. Now, don't take forever answering the question, but you need to answer the question. Okay, answer the question appropriately. You know. Now, my incident was I called a person on the phone, asked them a question about something, because I was hoping that this person had actually changed who they might be, because I was like, well, I'm trying to make a change, and maybe they're making a change too. And then this person got really rude and kind of irate with me in regards to the question, and so one thing went to another, and so I ended up kind of going off. And you know, I have been trying to keep myself separated from that situation, and so they kind of escalated the situation by being irate with me, and so I in turn became irate with them. But you know, like I told you in one of my videos, if you take me across that bridge, I'm going to keep going. So I ended up posting things on Facebook and something really mean and nasty and hurtful to that person. And it was basically like, forget it. We don't have to even speak to each other anymore. And that's basically why I did it. It's basically, I knew that eventually we end up talking to each other again, even after the argument, but I need to make sure I sealed it in stone that we just leave each other alone, not talk to each other anymore. And sometimes you have to just cut the ties and just leave people be, you know, and also understand that with the conversation, we're having a conversation, especially with a woman, because we are emotional beings, and men have to learn how to de-escalate the situation. One thing I figured out, I do agree with the one guy, what's his name? He's the Alpha Male Strategies, AMS. And he was saying, don't argue with a woman. I completely agree with that. I don't think a man should argue with women. I do agree with that. I, however, do think that you should be able to de-escalate the situation to an argument with a woman to where she's talking calmly. A lot of males don't know how to do that because they're raised by women. So all they've ever learned to do in communication is to argue and fuss with a woman because they were raised by women who argued and fussed. And so he doesn't know how to de-escalate the situation. And so I had found myself in a situation to where I had to even teach a person that I was with how to communicate with me if I'm coming out of pocket, because I'm gonna come out of pocket. I'm going to admit that I will come out of pocket on not a regular basis, but if it's something that you didn't really piss me off about, I'm gonna come out of pocket. Now, there's a way to de-escalate a situation with me. Now, the one thing you do is you stay calm. Then I won't get excited. If you sit there looking stupid and don't say anything at all, then I'm gonna get pissed, because that means you don't really give a frick. To me, it doesn't. I don't know about the women, but to me, it means that you are disconnected and you really don't give a frick, and you just want me to stop talking and so you can go about your way, instead of trying to discuss it with me so that we can get this done with. And that's why a lot of times with situations when people have communication problems, because you don't resolve the issue. You just be like, okay, you're right, and then brush it under the rug, and guess what? It comes back because you never resolve the issue. So, one thing with me to resolve it is we can talk about it. Now, I don't want to argue and fuss and fight with somebody, but I try to look at every angle of everything logically. And even though men try to make it seem like women are illogical and we don't think logically, I actually do think logically from all angles, because I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to ask you questions, and if you don't think that my answer is logical, then you're going to tell me, well, no, that makes no sense, blah, blah, blah. But if I ask you the question and I say, well, so-and-so, this and this and this, and then you say, well, yeah. Well, see, I know that I'm not thinking it logically because you agreed that what I'm saying is correct in my thoughts, right? Right. So I'm trying to make sure we're on the same page as far as thought. That's why I'm asking questions. So if the dog is green and the grass is green, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to go through that process. Sky is blue, grass is green. Correct? You'll say, correct. Okay, so now we agree. Sky is blue, grass is green. So if I walk through the grass with white shoes on, will not my shoes turn green? Right. Okay, now, I try to make sure I think logically through the whole process. There's ways to de-escalate a situation with a woman. The way not to de-escalate one is to start going off on her, because all that's going to happen is she's going to escalate that situation. It's going to become something more. You got to learn how to de-escalate. Like I said, with me, you stay calm. And if I come out of pocket, you trying to say something, and I'll be like, no. You be like, hold up, wait a minute. Let me speak. Then I'm going to back up. Because I'm going to be like, okay, I hear you. Let you speak. Because I had to tell him to do that to me with me. Because sometimes I'll go on this thing, but you need to stop me. You can stop me. Sometimes I'm not thinking about it, so I need you to stop me and get me in pocket when I come out of pocket. And so he would say, hold up, let me speak. And then so I would back up and let him go ahead and say what's what. But I have a low tolerance for idiocy. So if you come out your mouth when I let you speak with some stupid ish, I'm going to stop you right there. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why are you saying that? That don't make any sense. And I will tell you why it makes no sense. That made no sense, especially if you're trying to lie. Dude, come on. Your lie didn't make sense to you or me. You just making up stuff. If you come out your mouth saying stuff that you're like, what are you talking about? That irritates me even more. I want you to think about what you're saying logically and have an appropriate answer. Have an appropriate comment. Not some idiotic, stupid shit you're coming up with that's going to piss me off even more. So please, men, take the time to think through the word answers. You ain't got to spit them out like, but I expect you not to be like, 10 minutes later, she's waiting for you to answer the question. No, you need to be able to think it through and process it and spit it out. Women are able to do that. Now, I don't know why men can't do that, but you need to be able to do that. And the one thing you also need to learn how to do is control the situation, not to escalate the situation with a woman. Don't waste time arguing with a woman. Don't argue with me. Because you argue with me, it's all I'm going to do is going to keep on going. So what you want to do is, instead of, don't walk out either. Because guess what? It'll still be there when you come back. So let's de-escalate the situation and try to sit down and have a discussion. Let's do that. Or not escalate the situation at all. Because if I'm talking to you and I ask you a specific question, the one thing, okay, so if you know that if I say to you, this hurt me and you did that, you should hear the words, this hurt me because you did that. You should be going, oh, you just want to argue. What you should be saying is, okay, she said I hurt her. That's your key to come in and say, you know what, I'm going to try to keep this calm and see if I can kind of keep this thing where we can communicate. I heard you. You said I hurt you. I apologize for that. Okay, now, I hear the other stuff you're saying. I'm going to work on that. I'm trying to do better. I'm going to, you know, whatever. This is some things that I want from you. That's simple. Don't go all off and getting all upset and excited. Because women are already emotional. And one thing you don't need is an emotional man. So if we're emotional and you're emotional, that's a bad combo. Y'all need to learn to use your head and be thinking and try to learn how to de-escalate the situation with a woman. So I'm trying to give you the tip on how to de-escalate the situation with a woman. Don't get involved and go tit for tat with her and argue and fussing and screaming and yelling. Don't do that. You got to sit down with her, try to keep the situation de-escalated, and try to have communicate with her calmly. And I know sometimes it's hard to do because sometimes we get out of pocket, but you got to learn how to communicate with your woman and how to keep her from getting out of pocket. What do? So every woman is different. So every woman is different. I'm the kind of woman, if I'm out of pocket, now sometimes I do go off on this little thing, I need a few minutes. Sometimes you need to give me a few minutes just to get my bearings, get my mind, just to calm down. But you need to give me those few minutes just to, because if I'm angry with you and I'm not talking to you, hey, I ain't got no understandings at that point. So let me just calm down, get my bearings. I'm going to come back to you and say, okay, let's talk about it. Okay? When I do come back to you and say, let's talk about it, I don't want no attitude. Don't be talking, don't come with no attitude. Don't come with the attitude. The attitude is going to take me over the bridge again. So let's talk. Okay? Learn how to communicate with your woman. Find out what those things are that she needs to help you communicate with her better. Sit her down. Try to stay calm. Two people all excited is not good for conversation. And so I'm trying to learn to be better, and I think I'm doing pretty well. I know I made that mistake a couple of weeks ago with that person, but they escalated the situation, and I was trying to be calm about it, and I was really hurt by something, and I told them that this hurt me, and they kind of bypassed it and made it about them, like you just this and that. And I was like, no, I was telling you that you hurt me during this process. And I would at least expect you to say, I hear you, I apologize for that, and I'm going to make sure I do better. Especially when I was coming to them in a situation that wasn't even about me, it was about somebody else. And I came to them trying to say, hey, you need to do better. And then they turned around and was like, you just want to, I was like, dude, I'm trying to make you better. How you turning around on me? I'm trying to argue with you, and I'm trying to make you better. But sometimes you just can't, people just who they are, and they just won't be better. So anyway, that's my mama said, basically trying to learn to communicate. Learning to communicate, learning how to communicate with women, and learning to communicate with your mate. Mostly it's about communicating with women. And how to de-escalate your situation. Just make sure, remember, men, stay calm. Okay, first thing is stay calm. Do not argue with your woman. Don't sit there arguing with her. Don't walk away. All that does is escalate the situation. Try to understand what she's saying. Hear what she's saying. Address everything she says. Because she's going to be like, well, you never talked about this. Address all her issues. Even if you got to get a pen and paper so you can write it down. Because at least she says you're listening. He wants to write it down so he can address all my topics. That's impressive. Make sure that you do that. And just don't raise your voice. Don't put your hands on her. Just try to make sure you're stern and firm in the communication. Don't let her walk all over you in the communication either. Don't let her yell and scream and just go all off on you. Just back her up. When it's time to talk, you be like, look, hold up. It's my turn. Be quiet. And for the most part, women will do that, just that. I ain't saying all women do. Some people just get more mad. You can't tell me to shut up. But don't say shut up. Say, hold on. Let me speak. And so you could say that. And that's actually another way. A woman won't be like, isn't that? She'll be like, okay. Most women. And so that's something that you can keep in your mind when you're discussing, having a conversation with your woman that's kind of heated. Those things you can do to kind of keep that relationship, keep that communication open. And you could actually solve more issues and resolve the problems a lot better if you do those things with a woman. Don't waste time arguing. Have the line of communication open and just try to discuss things better. I'm not perfect, and I never could claim to be perfect. You know, I'm a woman, and so, you know, I don't think there's anything extraordinary about me as far as like, I ain't no Beyonce or nothing like that. I don't have any special powers or nothing like that. But, you know, I consider myself a good person, a good woman, and a good friend, and awesome mom, and, you know, I just try to be the best human being I can be. And so there's nothing perfect. I never try to be perfect. This person who one of my subs tried to make it seem like that I try to be perfect, and I'm far from perfect, honey. I got a whole bunch of mistakes under my belt, a lot of regrets. But you know what? I can't worry about the regrets I had. But when I did those things, all I can do was move forward from that day forward and go on and just try to make the best out of every day after that. So that's my mama said. I hope you guys got a little something out of this one as far as communication. And I'll be posting another video soon. See you later.